Vote counting could take time. That's good. As Americans await the results of Tuesday's midterm elections, they should remember what happened 2 years ago. Vote counting delays in Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Nevada meant that news organizations could not project the winner of the 2020 presidential race until the Saturday after Election Day. The electoral vote count did not turn out to be close. Nevertheless, countless conspiracy theories and bogus fraud allegations have flourished, fueled by Donald Trump and his sycophantic allies. This election could be even more complicated. Once again, simple issues of election logistics could delay final results, and provoke wild accusations of fraud amid an information void. And unlike what occurred in 2020, there could be serious post-election voting litigation. The underlying factor in 2020 was that many people started voting absentee during the pandemic. Now acclimated to this convenient voting method, many will continue to use it this year. Election offices might be more prepared than they were 2 years ago for the onslaught of mail-in ballots, which generally take longer to count than in-person votes. But in 2 states with key Senate races, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, state law forbids election officials from even processing absentee ballots until Election Day. So, it is reasonable to expect another red mirage in which Election Day votes, which lean Republican, are counted and reported quickly, while mail-in ballots, which Democrats tend to use disproportionately, take more time to tally. In 2020, Mr. Trump falsely claimed that the delay inherent in proper, careful vote counting was evidence of electoral foul play. If the Pennsylvania vote is close, things could get even messier because of a continuing dispute about mail-in ballots. Per a recent state Supreme Court order, election officials have set aside thousands of ballots on which voters neglected to write a date or on which they wrote the wrong date. The dating requirement should not determine a vote's validity because election officials count only ballots that arrive in their offices by a certain deadline. But the courts have not resolved this question. The U.S. Senate majority could rest on a ruling. If so, one thing should be clear: the dispute is not about rooting out fraud but, rather, about a technicality. Things could be smoother elsewhere. Georgia, for example, usually counts its votes quickly. But if neither major Senate candidate gets a majority of votes, that state's law requires them to compete in a December 6 runoff. This could leave the shape of the Senate unclear for weeks longer. These are complications that one can reasonably anticipate. No doubt there will also be unexpected glitches, as there are in almost every election. More serious are newer potential dangers this year: threats against election workers, insider attacks on polling place operations, disruptive partisan ballot monitors, armed vigilantes menacing voters, violence after results extreme partisans do not like. Many states have not prepared enough after the tumult in 2020. We hope that Tuesday's vote, and the count, goes more smoothly. If it does not, Americans should exercise patience, and state leaders should take it as another sign they need to fix the mechanics of democracy before 2024.